Hey guys, and welcome to week 3 of the UCL. This week we're facing Spencer, JackedBomber, coach of the Portland Primals. This video was actually meant to be uploaded yesterday, I believe, but for some reason my audio got messed up. Apparently my mic didn't record my voice, but my laptop mic recorded my voice instead, so yeah, it was really crappy. So here I am, we're re-recording this team builder. We already played a match which will follow after this team builder. So yeah, I wanted to let you guys know that, but let's get right into Spencer's team right now. His team is actually really scary. He has Como. Como is a really scary dragon. It is able to, well, set up with Dragon Dance, hit you hard with its moves like Close Combat, which has gotten Ultra Sun and Moon now, and what's called Outrage or Dragon Claw. It also good coverage in Poison Jab and Iron Head, but Como is actually one of Spencer's Z captains, so making it even more of a threat than it already is, being able to possibly run Acid Downpour, which I really could see him bringing for Sylveon, or maybe what's called the Steel Z move for Sylveon as well. But he's also able to run Clangorous Soul Blaze with its clanging skills, holding the Commonium Z, since that is allowed in this league. So yeah, really scary mon. His next mon is Alolan Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales pretty much known to set up Aurora Veil, which helps well, pretty much supports setup mons like Como, so yeah, those two together could really pose a problem for my team. Ninetales is also really fast and is able to set up the Hail instantly, allowing for 100% accurate blizzards, so really need to watch out for that thing. His next mon is Skarmory. Skarmory, pretty much known for being a defensive Pokemon, can also be specially defensive actually, despite its huge defense stat. Pretty much known for being a good defogger or setting up rocks and spikes. Just a really good defensive mon. I can definitely see him bring his Skarmory. Another defensive mon he has is actually Slowbro. Slowbro is really bulky, has pretty good defense, and with its Regenerator ability is able to pretty much heal up after switching out, and is also reliable recovery in what is called Slack Off. Slowbro is also Spencer's second Z captain, so he could maybe go for Psychium Z with a Calm Mind Slowbro or something like that, which could be really scary for my team. But next mon is his Mega Pokemon, and that is Mega Tyranitar. In this league, you don't necessarily have to Mega Evolve your Mega Pokemon, so he could also bring regular Tyranitar with a Choice Band or Choice Scarf, so you really don't know what to expect with this thing. Mega Tyranitar is also able to Dragon Dance up, and in combination with possibly Alolan Ninetales Aurora Veil, that can be really scary. Mega Tyranitar gets really good coverage, really powerful mon. It can really, well, decimate teams. And speaking of mons that can decimate teams, he also has Entei. Choice Banded Entei doesn't have a switch in. Yeah, it's just really hard to deal with. Entei just hits so hard with Sacred Fire or Flare Blitz. His next one is Excadrill, so he has some Sandstorm options. Excadrill can have the Sandrush ability, so under Tyranitar Sandstorm it gets a speed boost. But Excadrill also has that Mold Break ability to hit, well, levitating mons. Excadrill is really scary Pokemon, can hit really hard, is a good Rapid Spinner, Earthquake, Iron Head, Rock Slide. Pretty good moves. Next one he has is Circuitry. I'm kind of familiar with Circuitry right now because I'm using it in the P4G. Circuitry has a massive Spatak stat, and with a Choice Scarf, it can really, well, snowball your team and destroy you. So I really need to watch out for that thing. He also has Decidueye. Decidueye is, well, it's an okay Pokemon. It's not too good, but it's definitely not bad. It has a pretty good attack stat. With a Sword Sense, it can hit pretty hard. It's also another defogger Spencer has, so that is also nice for him. Next one is Type Null. Type Null is actually a pretty good defensive Pokemon. It has like 95 in each of its stats, except for speed. So coupled with an Eviolite, it's just really bulky. His next one is Volbeat. Volbeat is pretty much known for being a prankster mon, where going for Prankster T-Waves. I think it gets T-Wave, Toxic or Tailwind maybe. So yeah, that thing can be really annoying. His next one is Muk. Muk is pretty interesting. I don't see him bringing Muk, but it can definitely, well, put in some work. It's pretty especially bulky, so could put in some work maybe. And last but not least is Zangoose. Zangoose is a pretty interesting Pokemon. It has the, what's it called, the Toxic Boost ability, I think it's called, which basically doubles its attack when it's poisoned. So if you give it a Toxic Orb, it will get poisoned, of course, and will pretty much hit very hard. So yeah, that thing could probably cause some problems against me if he brings it. But yeah, that's it for Spencer's team. As I said, it's really scary. I'm really afraid of, well, the Como. I could also see him bringing Ninetales, Skarmory, maybe Slowbro for Landorus. Mega Tyranitar is a mon I definitely see coming alongside Entei and Excadrill. Circuitry is a maybe, and the other mons I don't really see coming. But anyways, let's dive right into my team right now. First one I'm bringing is Sylveon, Blue Eyes to Sylveon. As you guys can see, I gave my mons a nickname. They didn't have nicknames in the first 2 weeks, but I decided to give them some nicknames just like I do in the P4G. So we have Blue Eyes to Sylveon. It's pretty much a regular max defense, max HP Sylveon set with leftovers. But it's pretty different from normal Sylveons in that we don't run Pixelate Hyper Voice, but instead Q-Charm and Moonblast. But that is because Como has the ability Soundproof, so if we decide to bring Como and well, have soundproof, Hyper Voice wouldn't work on that, so I decided to just go with Moonblast, even though we do lack a bit of power now because we're running Moonblast. Well, it's definitely useful if he brings soundproof. And of course Q-Charm, because Pixelate isn't used. Q-Charm might come in clutch if he makes contact with me, who knows. And the remaining moves are just Wish, Heal Bell and Protect, just regular cleric stuff. Next mon I'm bringing is Raikou. We're bringing Saber Strike to Raikou with an Assault Vest. Its moves are Thunderbolt, Aura Sphere, Extra Sensory and Volt Switch. Thunderbolt and Volt Switch are pretty much the regular stuff. Extra Sensory is there to hit Como-O, and Aura Sphere is here to hit both Excadrill and Mega Tyranitar. But because I'm running Aura Sphere, I have to run Rash because it's like an event exclusive move, so we have to run the Rash nature. And it's just max attack, max speed, nothing too special about it. We do have the Assault Vest though, maybe to take moves better from Alolan Ninetales and Circuitry possibly. I didn't really have an item that was necessary on Raikou, so I decided to just give it the Assault Vest. But for my third mon, it's Gaia the Landorus. It's a defensive Landorus with Earthquake, U-Turn, both Defog and Stealth Rock. Stealth Rock can come in really clutch against his team to weaken the Alolan Ninetales or also to break the Sturdy on Skarmory. It's also pretty useful against the Entei as well, so that's nice. And Defog is there just to get rid of his hazards that could be coming from Skarmory, but also to possibly get rid of his Aurora Veil since Defog also does that, so that's nice. But yeah, as I said, it's a defensive Landorus pretty much too. Well, it's pretty much my main switch in against the Excadrill. Since Excadrill can't really touch Landorus, it's almost max HP and some defense investment with an Impulse Nature, but we also have 192 EVs in speed. That way we can outspeed, let's see, yeah, Jolly max speed Mega Tyranitar if it isn't set up, so that may come in really clutch. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Landorus. Next mon I'm bringing is Crimson the Mega Scissor. Initially I wasn't sure if I should bring Scissor, but I think the Bullet Punch priority could come in really clutch. It could definitely come in clutch to knock out Alolan Ninetales with a Bullet Punch and prevent screens from being set up, or Aurora Veil I mean. Other moves it has are U-Turn, Brick Break and Roost. U-Turn is pretty much there for Switch Initiative as well, but Brick Break is there to, well, hit Mega Tyranitar and Excadrill, but also to break through the potential Aurora Veil. So we definitely do have some options to get rid of Aurora Veil, which is nice. And also Roost just to heal up. Crimson the Scissor is actually a pretty good switch in against Excadrill. We can just take its moves pretty well with our defense investment and just roost off the damage and damage it with Brick Break. But we do have 92 SPDEF investment, that way we won't allow Alolan Ninetales to 2-hit KO us with HP Fire while the heal is up. Unless it's a Life Orb Alolan Ninetales, then he will 2-shot us, but without it he won't, so that is nice. But next one we're bringing is Caesar the Infernape. Infernape is pretty much necessary against his team. Mach Punch is really nice for the Tyranitar. Close Combat hits that thing as well, and also it's Excadrill and pretty much his whole team actually. Of course we also have Fire Blast to hit the Skarmory and U-Turn for Switch Initiative. We do pack the Black Belt this week, just powering up our fighting type moves. And along with the Iron Fist ability, that way Mach Punch will be even stronger. I thought Blaze wasn't really necessary in this week. As for our EV spread, we bring max attack and 192 speed with a naive nature. This way we can outspeed Jolly Entei, even though I'm pretty sure he would bring Adamant Entei. If he decides to bring Jolly, then that would be useful. We also have 64 Spatak EVs. I think with this investment we will one-shot Decidueye with Fire Blast, so that is also nice. But yeah, this is pretty much it for Infernape. Infernape is definitely important in this match. But last but not least is Gracidea the Shaman, making its debut in the UCL. We're bringing an offensive Shaman this week. I've noticed the Shaman could actually definitely put in some work against his team. Seedfair pretty much doesn't have any switch-ins except for the Skarmory, Entei, Decidueye, Volbeat and Muk, but I can hit those with the remainder of its move, Earth Power, Dazzling Gleam and HP Fire. Dazzling Gleam especially is really useful to one-shot the Como. We do outspeed it with this EV spread. We bring Max Protect just to hit as hard as possible. 160 speed with a timid nature. That way we outspeed Excadrill by 1 point. When it's outside the Sandstorm, of course. And the remainder just in defense to take physical moves better. But yeah, I'm really hoping Shaman will put in some work. It definitely can do something, which I'm really hoping for. So yeah, this is it for the team. I'm really hoping it will put in some work. So yeah, let's get right to the match. So here we are with the battle. As you guys can see though, I'm showing off the replay. This is a post-com. When we were battling, Showdown was drunk or something. Turns took like 20 years to register. So I decided to quit my live recording in the middle of the battle and decided to do a post-com instead. Otherwise the video would take too long, as the battle took pretty long as well. Turns, as I said, took a long time to register. Next match will be a live com as usual though, so look forward to that. But now that that's explained, let's look at the mons he brought. He brought T-Tar, Excadrill, Volbeat, Como-O, Skarmory and Entei. So he did brought a lot of things I expected. I didn't expect the Volbeat, so that was pretty surprising. So for my lead, I decided to lead Raikou. It could pretty much Volt Switch on anything on his team. And if he let Skarmory trying to set up hazards, that would be really useful. But if he decided to lead Excadrill, I could just safely go into Landorus, since Excadrill can't really touch Landorus at all. Also, if I decided to switch into Excadrill upon my Volt Switch, I could do the same thing. So yeah, Raikou pretty much was a no drawback play. So as you guys can see, I lead off with Raikou. I didn't know why his speed was so fast, so let's set it to normal. But yeah, as he leads off with his Volbeat, actually, I decide to throw off a Volt Switch right here, but he throws off the Toxic. So we do get Toxic, which really comes into play during this match. So I go into Crimson the Scissor right here, just so I can't be Toxic. And here I actually make a huge misplay. I go for the Bullet Punch right here, but he's now able to send in the Entei. And that was a huge misplay. Had I just gone for the U-turn upon the Entei switch in, something pretty much didn't have to die right here. Because now, as you guys can see, I don't have a switching for Choice Banded Entei at all. It is Adamant Entei though, because, well, if you're running Shiny Entei, it's most likely the Extreme Speed variant. And Extreme Speed is only compatible with Adamant Entei. So yeah, pretty much Choice Banded Adamant Entei, anything is gonna die on my team. So I have to let Scissor die here, unfortunately. Yeah, it really sucks. Crimson's Bullet Punch really could have put in some work against possibly the Tyranitar or the Como-O maybe, but yeah, it is what it is. I should have went for U-turn there. I don't know why I went for Bullet Punch. Actually, I do know why I went for Bullet Punch. I clicked Bullet Punch thinking he could stay, Volbeat would stay in. I could U-turn afterwards, but after clicking my move, I realized he could just switch into Entei, but because Showdown was acting weird, we couldn't cancel our move, so that really sucked. That really came into play in this match, so I couldn't cancel my Bullet Punch. I had to go for it, even though I wanted to go for a U-turn afterwards. It is what it is though. But anyway, I went into Landorus right here, intimidate this thing. I decided just to go for Earthquake right here, because I pretty much couldn't risk him staying in when I set up my rocks or something and pretty much allow him to 2-hit KO me. I think he 2-hit KO'd me at least, and anyways I also needed Landorus healthy for the Excadrill. So I decided to go for the Earthquake here. It just makes a very obvious play into Skarmory. I decide to set up my rocks here. He decides to do the same. Here I U-turn out and go into Raikou, possibly taking a Brave Bird. But here he actually shows off the, what's it called, the Whirlwind. And I get Whirlwind right out in the Landorus. So pretty much the worst mon I could have been sent out in. So here I just go for the Defog. I don't want to play the Whirlwind chip damage game. So get rid of his rocks, but also of my rocks, which sucks. I get Whirlwind out into Shaman, but I know Shaman's HP Fire won't one-shot this thing, and I don't want to take a Brave Bird, so I switch into Saber Strike to Raikou right here to take the Brave Bird. I probably should have went into Landorus actually, because here he's setting up his rocks again, so pretty much we're back at square one, only my rocks aren't up anymore, so that really sucked. I decided to go for the Volt Switch, I'm pretty sure right here. He goes into Volbeat, a Volt Switch, so Volbeat takes some more chip. By the way, because of this damage, it reveals Volbeat is especially defensive. I forgot to mention that. I go into Infernip right here. I want to take this thing out. I go for the Fire Blast. He goes for Toxic, but he actually misses. That was pretty useful, but I think it doesn't really matter in this game because now Entei comes in again. And again, one of my mons has to die. And here I decide just to weaken this thing with Close Combat. Maybe I get a crit, but I don't get a crit. And he's able to knock me out with the Bulldoze. So I could have made a switch into into Landorus, but if he went for Flare Blitz or Sacred Fire, that was just too risky, and I really thought the damage on Entei would be worth it. If my rocks were still up, as you guys can see, Entei would have died right here, and that would have been really useful for my team, but unfortunately it didn't. So yeah, we lose Infernape right here, and that really sucks, because Infernape would have done a number against his team. It did Tyranitar, Excadrill, and Skarmory. So yeah, losing Infernape really sucked. I just decided to go into Raikou right here, just to revenge kill Entei, but he switches out, goes into T-Tar, but I actually went for the Aura Sphere just to... Well, pretty much it hit the Excadrill switch in and the Tyranitar switch in, and also knocked Entei out. So yeah, it pretty much was a no drawback play. Here I take some more damage, which sucks, but he Mega Evolves, and I am able to knock Tyranitar out with Aura Sphere. So yeah, that is really nice. Tyranitar is gone. That was a massive threat to the team. But here he's gonna send out Kommo-o, and I pretty much had to switch right here. I didn't go for full switch, because if he was Choice Scarf, he would have knocked my Raikou out with potentially Earthquake or something like that. And I didn't want to risk that, so I went hard Sylveon as he goes for the DD. And now things aren't really looking good, because I can take a +1 Iron Head or Poison Jab, but I can't take a Z move. So I'm really hoping he isn't Z right here. And I throw with a Moonblast, hoping he isn't Z, but unfortunately he is Z. He's Corkscrew Crash, and that straight up knocks Sylveon out. So yeah, we're now really in a bad spot, because at the moment he can, well, pretty much sweep me, and that really sucks. So I probably could have made a switch into Landorus right there just to predict a Z, but as I said, I really needed Landorus healthy for the Excadrill. Yeah, I probably should have preserved Sylveon better, but yeah, basically I didn't really have a switch in for Kommo-o, so yeah, that really sucks. Sylveon is gone right now, and Kommo-o is set up. So here I decided to go into Shaymin. I went into Shaymin because Shaymin is able... Well, there is a chance that I can live a +1 close combat, and I really, well, banked on that chance. So here you see that he actually switches out. So he fears me being Scarfed, so that's even better for me. So I am able to fire off a Dazzling Gleam right here. I didn't want to over-predict. Well, I didn't even predict him being scared of me being Scarfed. But here I do reveal the Life Orb, so yeah, our Scarf bluff is over. And he does send out the Skarmory, as you guys could see, and he takes a Dazzling Gleam with ease. Here though, I'm gonna predict a Whirlwind and go right for the HP Fire. It does a lot of damage, and he, as you guys can see, actually Whirlwinds, but it does get me out into Landorus again. That's like the second time it happened, so that really sucks. If I got sent out into Raikou, that would have been the best, really. Here I decided to go for Defog, but he actually doubles into, or not doubles, but switches into Entei, so that was really smart. Basically, Entei's gonna kill something again. Rocks are gone though, which is nice. He goes for Sacred Fire, he does burn me, but I am able to live it, which is nice. And I just decided to go for the Earthquake just to get rid of this thing, because that thing was really proving to be a problem. So yeah, Entei is gone, but now he sends in his Kommo again, and he's pretty much free to set up again. Landorus is burned, so Landorus won't hit him as hard. I could try to set up my rocks, but then again, he's just able to set up again. So here, he's going for the Dragon Dance, but I actually U-turn out of here. U-turn was actually my best play in this scenario, because now I am able to switch into something else and go back into Landorus to get off the Intimidate drop, which is what I'm gonna do. As you guys can see, I don't go into Shaymin, go back into Landorus, intimidate it, hoping he doesn't go for the second Dragon Dance, but he decides to go right for the Fire Punch. So he reveals the Fire Punch, pretty much kind of revealing to me that he doesn't pack close combat. I could be wrong though, but I think that's the case. The Landorus did put on some work there at the end, causing some chip and intimidating it. U-turn was, as I said, my best play. If he decided to attack me, I got some chip damage off, but if he decided to Dragon Dance up, which he did, I could intimidate it, which was nice. So now I go back into Shaymin again. At neutral I am able to take a Fire Punch, so I decide to go for the Dazzling Gleam right here, not wanting to over-predict anything. He decides to go into Skarmory, but he actually lives, so that kind of sucked, because I take more damage from the Life Up recoil. Here I just go for the HP Fire, I think. Yep, and knock the Skarmory out. So now both of us have 2 months left, but he decides to go into Excadrill right now, and this is actually a pretty big play in the match. So at this range, pretty much Shaymin isn't able to knock Excadrill out with Earth Power or Seed Flare. Well, they both would do the same amount, but Earth Power is more accurate. So yeah, Earth Power wouldn't knock it out at this range, but Excadrill's Iron Head will knock Shaymin out after one more Life Orb recoil, I think. So here I pretty much have to predict the Iron Head and go into Raikou and really bank on the fact that Raikou can live an Iron Head plus toxic damage. But if he decides to predict that and go for Earthquake, then well, I pretty much lose. So I decide just to make the switch. I'm predicting the Iron Head and go into Saber Strike to Raikou, and he goes for Iron Head, and I am able to lift the Iron Head after the toxic damage, so we're living on 2. So now is another big turn in the match. It's pretty much a 50-50. If he stays in, I can attack him and put him in range for Shaymin, so Shaymin can knock it out with Earth Power, after which Shaymin knocks Como out with Dazzling Gleam. However, if he switches, there's a big chance for me to lose, because Raikou will die to the Toxic afterwards, and I won't be able to knock the Como out, after which Shaymin has to crit the Excadrill in order for me to win. So it seems like I have to switch, but if he decides to predict that and stay in, go for the Iron Head, I lose my Shaymin up on the switch, and well, Raikou won't be able to... Yeah, and Raikou doesn't have enough turns to be able to defeat the Excadrill and the Como. So yeah, it pretty much comes down to a 50-50. In the end, I just decide to attack this thing, but he does switch, goes into Como. I went for Extra Sensory since it was pretty much my best play. If he stayed in, I got enough damage up for Shaymin to knock it out, and if he switched into Como, I would do a lot of damage to that thing. But he does switch, as you guys can see, and I died to the Toxic right here, so unfortunately I got that 50-50 wrong. But basically it now comes down to a crit. I am able to knock the Como out with the Earth Power. I do get some more life up recall, so now I'm pretty much 100% in range for Excadrill's Iron Head. Now, as I said, it comes down to a crit. I should have switched right there, but I got the prediction wrong. So yeah, as I said, it does come down to a crit. If I am able to crit this Excadrill, I am able to knock it out and win the match. But if I don't, he's able to knock me out with Iron Head. So let's see what happens. I go for Earth Power and it doesn't crit him. It only does 83 and he's able to knock me out with Iron Head. And that is the game. So yeah, we lose this game, a 1-0 loss. But it was a really good game. It really came down to the wire. It was a narrow 1-0 loss. The beginning of this game I really didn't play well, in my opinion. I made some poor plays with Scissor, allowing Entei just to wreck my team. So yeah, during the battle I really thought I would lose like 4 or 5-0, but I managed to narrow it down all the way to a 1-0, a narrow 1-0 loss. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I managed to kind of turn around the tides, especially with Shaymin. Shaymin definitely put in the finest piece of work, but unfortunately we lost. So yeah, it was a very good game though. GG to JackedBomber. Definitely go check out his channel. It is linked down in the description below. But yeah, we lost, so we're now 1-2, which isn't the best record. So let's hope we will win next week. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!